The day before marrying his fiancée, Sophia Taylor disappeared without warning. I went to great lengths to find her and asked why she would do such a thing. Sophia Taylor only told me one sentence. Being with someone you love, you can be happy eating coarse grains and bitter food. Being with someone you don't like, even if you eat the finest delicacies every day, it tastes like chewing wax. No matter how Sophia Taylor felt, her parents dragged her back in the end, and later Sophia Taylor and I successfully married. But during the 8 years of our marriage, Sophia Taylor subjected me to constant cold violence. I developed severe depression, and she grew tired of such a life and ultimately chose to cut her wrists and kill herself. On a rainy night, I lay alone in bed, and when I opened my eyes again, I found that I had returned to the moment just before the wedding. The manager of the bridal shop called me and said today was the day to try on the wedding dress for Sophia Taylor. But I waited all morning and didn't see any sign of Sophia Taylor. Calls went unanswered, and only then did the manager reach me. You don't need to wait. Sophia Taylor isn't coming. The wedding is off. I told the manager this news outright. If she doesn't want to marry, why force it? Even if we did get married, we would only suffer separately. Might as well end it here in this life and sever ties with the past completely. Sophia Taylor was rather proud by nature. The first time I saw her, I fell for her. My parents and Sophia Taylor's parents used to be business partners and always got along well. Later, Sophia Taylor's family's business failed, but the two families still kept in frequent contact. When we were children, Sophia Taylor's parents often brought her to our house, so she and I were playmates. Sophia Taylor was very beautiful and popular from a young age, always surrounded by many boys, and I was one of them. From elementary school on, Sophia Taylor and I were in the same class and were almost inseparable. As children, we didn't know any better. Perhaps I simply enjoyed being with her, but as we grew up, that feeling slowly became an attraction between the sexes. Many people thought we made a good match. My parents often mentioned it, and Sophia Taylor's parents didn't object. In private, they even called each other future in-laws. My parents knew I liked Sophia Taylor very much and treated her like a daughter. When she visited our home, they always brought her food, and the clothes they bought her were always the best. Sophia Taylor's parents were also very good to me and treated me like their own son. The year Sophia Taylor and I graduated from high school, both families agreed that after we finished college, they would formally hold our wedding. I was happy with my parents' arrangement, and Sophia Taylor chose to go along with it. From childhood, she had quietly accepted my kindness. We ate together, walked home from school together, and even took weekend tutoring together. In my heart, I always believed Sophia Taylor liked me. Later, Sophia Taylor and I were admitted to different universities. During those 4 years, even though countless girls pursued me, I rejected them all. To avoid unnecessary trouble, I even bought a ring and wore it on my middle finger to signal to other girls that I already had a girlfriend. I devoted more time to my studies, becoming the vice president of the student council, winning first-class scholarships multiple times, and even earning second place in the school's science project competition. I had only one thought. After graduating from university, marry the girl I liked and have children. During that time, Sophia Taylor and I kept in touch, calling every few days. Whether in winter or summer break, Sophia Taylor's parents would bring her to our home as guests. Things remained steady. Until my junior year, I gradually noticed a change in Sophia Taylor's attitude. When we used to talk on the phone, even if she didn't like my nagging, we'd still chat for 5 or 6 minutes. Later, calls lasted less than a minute before she hurriedly hung up. Besides that, every time Sophia Taylor's parents brought her my house, I could see impatience on her face. This impatience continued until we graduated from university. Just as both parents were preparing to fulfill their promise and arrange our wedding, Sophia Taylor suddenly disappeared. At first, I thought something had happened to her and contacted many people to find her, until I learned from her close friend Olivia Wilson that Sophia Taylor was vacationing on the shores of Lake Michigan and had posted, "I don't like the constraints of fate. I want the freedom of the wind." Only then did I understand that she hadn't gone missing. She simply wanted to escape the wedding. It turned out that my belief that Sophia Taylor liked me had been my own illusion. I liked Sophia Taylor. From elementary through high school, it was something everyone knew. But I had never interfered in her life, until a boy named Liam Davis appeared. Liam Davis was Sophia Taylor's senior in college, a year above her. I only learned of his existence from a former high school classmate who attended the same university as Sophia Taylor. They met at a debate competition held at the school. Sophia Taylor's looks were striking and drew a lot of attention when she appeared at the debate, and Liam Davis whether with his rogue charming appearance or his witty manner of speaking, also won the admiration of many girls. Sophia Taylor has been the center of attention since childhood, which shaped her aloof personality. Liam Davis is articulate and outgoing. Yet these two people with opposite personalities got along unusually well. After the debate competition, word spread around the school that Sophia Taylor and Liam Davis were together. They would go to the library together, attend evening study sessions together, and many times could be seen eating in the cafeteria together. Everything I once did for Sophia Taylor was perfectly replaced by Liam Davis. During the summer of her junior year, I finally managed to get 2 tickets to the Taylor Swift concert. Sophia Taylor had once said Taylor Swift was her favorite among all singers. I intended to tell her the good news, but unexpectedly she had signed up for a 2-week tour and had left 3 days earlier. Later I learned she had gone with Liam Davis. What really broke me was when a classmate posted a photo of Liam Davis and Sophia Taylor. They were coming out of cinema near the University of Chicago. Although there was still some distance between them, it was obvious Sophia Taylor was very happy. Her eyes curved, the corners of her lips lifted. That kind of smile I had never seen on her face. I knew that if I didn't take the initiative, Sophia Taylor and I might really be done. I truly liked her. I'd liked her for 20 years, and I didn't want to give up, so I decided to talk to Liam Davis. But unexpectedly, Sophia Taylor's parents learned about it earlier and found Liam Davis before I did. I don't know what they said to him. After that, Liam Davis never showed up again. Some said he went abroad. Others said he was threatened by Sophia Taylor's parents and no longer dared to appear in front of her. 6 months later, Sophia Taylor and I graduated one after the other, and both families began arranging our marriage. My parents knew how much I liked Sophia Taylor and were doing everything they could to make the match happen. But no one expected that a day before the wedding, Sophia Taylor chose to run away. Because of what happened in my previous life, I naturally knew where Sophia Taylor would be, so I drove straight to the Michigan Lake Beach where she was. Sophia Taylor was wearing a light blue long dress and a gray-white sun hat. From a distance, her skin looked very fair, and her slender figure made her appear particularly tall and charming. "We need to talk." Sophia Taylor did not expect me to suddenly appear here. After a brief surprise, she walked toward a nearby cafe without looking back. She had always been like this since childhood. I used to think it was just her personality, but now I understand. If someone doesn't like you, they simply won't consider your feelings. Compared to my family, the Taylors were actually quite ordinary, especially after their business went bankrupt. Life could even be described as tight. Perhaps because Sophia Taylor was so outstanding, Mr. and Mrs. Taylor pinned all their hopes on her. In my last life, after I married Sophia Taylor, I handed over the household finances to her. It was a huge sum of money, but Sophia Taylor didn't care at all. Business district gatherings were usually grand, but she rarely attended. Even when she did, there wasn't a hint of a smile on her face. I kept thinking maybe I wasn't doing well enough. We employed 4 housekeepers. All ingredients were imported from abroad. For her birthday and Valentine's Day, the jewelry I gave was privately commissioned from international brands. But instead of improving, our relationship only got worse. I never understood what the problem was until I remembered something Sophia Taylor said many years ago. The wind by the sea was strong, and the air was tinged with the briny smell of the ocean. I ordered 2 coffees and asked that same foolish question I had asked in my past life. Why did you choose to leave without a word? Sophia Taylor gave the answer. Being with someone you love makes even eating coarse grain feel like happiness. If you're with someone you don't love, even a feast every day tastes like chewing wax. That sentence revealed the fundamental reason I could never win her true heart. The person she loved, of course, was Liam Davis, and the person who tasted like chewing wax was me. She doesn't love you. That fact cannot be changed. Sophia Taylor wasn't lying. In the years she spent with me, I always gave her the best. Birthday gifts were carefully selected, each worth at least a few $100s, whereas Liam Davis came from an ordinary family. When they were together, they could only eat in the cafeteria or at street stalls. On Sophia Taylor's birthday, Liam Davis gave her a pair of gloves worth only $50, yet brought back the long-missing smile to her face. To love and to be loved. That is the greatest difference. I nodded, not denying her words. The last time I heard this, I didn't choose to walk away. I had loved Sophia Taylor for 20 years and felt that this feeling deserved an explanation. It couldn't just end abruptly. I believe people's hearts were made of flesh, that if I gave enough sincerity, 1 year, 2 years, even 5 or 10 years, she would sooner or later see my worth. But reality proved I was utterly wrong, and we both lived in unbearable pain after marriage. So this time, I chose to let go. I know you don't like being bound by marriage. I came to see you today because I actually want something from you. Hearing my words, Sophia Taylor was somewhat surprised. In her impression, she had always known my greatest wish in this life was to marry her. "What is this?" she asked. I pointed at the crystal pendant on her neck. "Could you give this back to me?" I gave Sophia Taylor that crystal pendant the year we graduated high school. It might be one of the few gifts I gave her that she actually liked. Otherwise, she wouldn't have kept wearing it. The pendant isn't valuable, but it was left to me by my grandmother before she died, and Sophia Taylor knew it had special meaning to me. Now that we've chosen to part ways, the pendant should naturally be returned to its rightful owner. Sophia Taylor was stunned for a moment, then finally took off the pendant from her neck and handed it to me. With the pendant returned, from that moment on, Sophia Taylor and I had no ties whatsoever. After I returned home, I announced to the public that I had called off the engagement with Sophia Taylor. The news caused quite a stir in Chicago. Our family's holdings in Chicago were considerable, and in many people's eyes, the Taylor family was not a match for ours. For the Taylors, this was undoubtedly a huge loss. My parents were a bit taken aback, but they had also heard about Sophia Taylor's disappearance. They always supported me. Their previous liking of Sophia Taylor had been only because I liked her. Now that I had decided to let go, they naturally didn't say much. Sophia Taylor's parents came to see us, saying that Sophia was simply too headstrong and asking me to reconsider. In the previous life, I told them about Sophia's situation on the beach, and shortly after, her parents took her back and forced her to attend the wedding. Back then, I still held a sliver of hope. After we married, no matter how busy I was, I made breakfast for Sophia Taylor every morning and always returned home before 8 each night. But she pretended none of it mattered, and often picked fights with me over the smallest things, followed by long silent treatments. Everything seemed to be slipping out of my control. I tried every way I could to ease our relationship, but Sophia Taylor wouldn't give me a chance. Over time, I developed depression, and she grew increasingly gloomy as well. My parents wanted us to have a child as soon as possible, but Sophia Taylor always kept people at arm's length. We didn't even have any intimate moments. How could we possibly have a child? Then one day, Sophia Taylor heard the news that Liam Davis was getting married and having a child. That very night, she slit her wrists in the bathroom. 8 years of marriage ended there, and I became a laughingstock to everyone. At that moment, I finally understood. Someone who doesn't love you has a heart as hard as iron and won't be melted by your sincerity. After the engagement was called off, I felt much lighter and began to focus most of my energy on running Johnson Group. After returning to single life, many of my father's business partners thought I would be a good match and wanted to introduce their daughters to me. But my father turned them all down. He said marriage is free now. My private life and who I want to marry are things he won't interfere with. The decision is mine. Actually, I already had someone in my heart I wanted to pursue, someone I was not unfamiliar with, Sophia Taylor's close friend Olivia Wilson. Olivia Wilson was a classmate of mine, and Sophia Taylor's in high school. Olivia was actually very pretty, but Sophia Taylor shone so brightly that anyone's light would be overshadowed by hers. Because she was Sophia Taylor's close friend and our classmate as well, Olivia and I always got along well, and later we even got into the same university. In Olivia's words, during those 4 years of college, she would keep an eye on me for her best friend to prevent me from fooling around at school. Perhaps because she had that legitimate excuse, Olivia often asked me to go to evening study sessions together, to the library together, to volunteer together. People would jokingly ask if Olivia and I were dating, but at that time my heart belonged only to Sophia Taylor. I would just smile off those jokes. Later I married Sophia Taylor, and Olivia rarely contacted us anymore. When I heard about her again, it was the tragic news that she had passed away. It was the 6th year after Sophia Taylor and I married. Olivia had developed cancer and eventually left this world in pain. I hurried to the hospital, but was unable to see her one last time. At the hospital, I met Olivia's college roommate, who, upon hearing my name, was somewhat surprised and then handed me a diary. The diary was signed Olivia Wilson. Inside were entries about the boy she liked. Diary, May 2nd, 2009. I was really scared today. On the way home from evening study, a few bad students stopped me, but luckily a stranger stepped in. He looked a bit silly, and in the end he got beaten up badly, but the way he stood in front of me was really handsome. It's a pity I forgot to ask his name. May 10th, 2009. I've been looking for that silly guy for a week already, but I still haven't found him. It seems like he and I don't attend the same school. I hope to see him again someday. September 1st, 2009. Today is the first day of high school. I never expected to run into him again. His name is Ethan Johnson, and we were even placed in the same class. September 5th, 2009. So he already had a girlfriend. The girl is called Sophia Taylor, and she is truly very beautiful. Why do I feel a little sad? January 12th, 2010. Today the homeroom teacher rearranged the seats, and I was placed at the desk behind him. I really hope this can last. Just being able to see his back is enough. April 11th, 2010. Sophia Taylor and I became close friends. She was truly beautiful. Perhaps only she was worthy of Ethan? No, he was just a silly fellow. July 11th, 2012. In the blink of an eye, 3 years had passed. I wonder which university that silly fellow will apply to. I want to apply to the same one as him. August 2nd, 2012. My dream came true, but my parents said I'm a bit silly for applying to only one ordinary university. This secret I won't tell anyone. October 12th, 2013. This year I'm a sophomore, and luckily that silly guy and I joined the same club. Today he invited me to dinner alone. Just the two of us. It's the first time. Does that count as a date? April 22nd, 2014. Today someone said I was the silly guy's girlfriend. Although he spoke up to explain, I was still very happy. May 28th, 2016. I didn't expect 4 years to pass so quickly. These 4 years of college life will be the happiest time of my life. January 6th, 2017. The fool is finally marrying Sophia Taylor. I sincerely wish them well, and I wish the fool. I know this is his lifelong wish. Perhaps it's time I disappear from his life. December 12th, 2018. Today another boy confessed to me. He looks a little like the fool, and I nearly felt a flutter. Sadly, he is not Ethan. May 12th, 2020. It's been 3 years, and the fool's marriage doesn't seem happy. If I had known it would turn out like this, should I have fought for him back then? September 13th, 2022. Today the doctor told me I have late-stage stomach cancer. Should I tell the fool this news? Or maybe not. I don't want to make him sad. November 6th, 2022. It hurts so much, it really hurts. I feel like I'm about to die, and it's a pity I didn't get a chance to see that fool one last time. Fool, goodbye. The last page of the diary held a photograph. A wedding photo of Sophia Taylor and me, Olivia in a bridesmaid dress, standing beside me. Maybe in that moment, she had already imagined herself as my bride. In my previous life, after finishing that diary, I couldn't stop crying, filled with regret. Recalling all the moments with Olivia, my heart felt as if it were being cut with a knife. I finally realized I truly was a fool. There had been a girl who liked me for so long, someone who had silently loved and quietly watched me. I had loved Sophia Taylor for 20 years, while Olivia, in her short life, had almost loved me for a lifetime. The reason was nothing more than my habit of focusing all my attention on Sophia Taylor. I called and asked Olivia Wilson out. After graduating from college, she worked at Midwest Corporate. With her Gaokao score back then, she should have been admitted to a better university. If she had chosen a different school, perhaps her life would have started from a higher point and had a better future. Olivia was very happy to see me, but the moment she thought about my sudden break with Sophia Taylor, she began to urge me, "Ethan, you need to think this through. You and Sophia have been together for so many years. You like her so much, and I believe Sophia likes you too. Don't sulk like this for no reason, or you'll definitely regret it later." Olivia kept her feelings well hidden. Even now, she was doing her best to persuade me to continue with Sophia Taylor. I shook my head and said to her, "It's impossible between Sophia and me anymore. We're not being stubborn. This is our best and final resting place." Olivia looked a bit stunned and was about to try to persuade me further when I slowly took out a gift box. Inside was the crystal pendant I had taken back from Sophia. I've taken back the pendant I once gave to Sophia. I think this pendant has a more suitable owner. I just don't know, since someone has worn it before. With a new owner in mind? Having said that, I gently pushed the gift box over to Olivia. I chose Olivia and not because I settled for her, because Sophia didn't like me. I asked my heart seriously, and I truly liked Olivia. A remarkable girl can make anyone's heart skip a beat. During those 4 college years, some guys teased that Olivia was my girlfriend. I didn't mind at all. I was even a little pleased. Unfortunately, by then I'd already set my heart on Sophia Taylor, always feeling she liked me and that I couldn't let her down. It was precisely this psychological burden that suppressed my feelings for Olivia. But when I put that burden down, that little spark in my heart began to stir, and after I learned Olivia liked me too, it caught fire completely. Only now do I understand that Olivia is the one worth spending my life with. My parents also liked Olivia very much. This time it wasn't about me, but about Olivia's well-behaved, sensible nature. My parents have always had good judgment, and when it comes to choosing a daughter-in-law, they're usually more discerning. My engagement party with Olivia was grandly arranged by our parents. They invited many socialites and friends from the business circles. Sophia Taylor's parents, Sophia herself, and Liam Davis all attended. Their getting together was actually within my expectations. Sophia likes Liam, that was beyond doubt. They hadn't been together before only because Sophia was bound by the constraints of marriage. Once that shackle was broken and she and I were completely finished, Sophia had every reason to choose her true love. As for Sophia's parents, no matter how much they opposed it, in the end they compromised under Sophia's insistence. But I didn't expect Sophia herself to attend my engagement party. In any case, seeing Olivia and me holding hands on stage, this must be the outcome she was hoping for. That she and I part ways, and her high school friend ultimately happily marries me. This looked like a win-win. No, it should be a win-win-win, even a four-way win. Olivia, Sophia, Liam, and I all seem to have ended up with the best possible matches. I just couldn't understand why Sophia's expression was so dim and unreadable, showing no hint of happiness. I thought about it and figured that perhaps, in her mind, she had always treated me like a doll she could manipulate at will. When one day her doll was taken by someone else and no longer belonged to her, it's inevitable that a bit of agitation would arise. Maybe that's just human nature. Not long after Olivia Wilson and I got engaged, Sophia Taylor and Liam Davis got engaged too, but I heard their engagement party did not go well. Liam's family was ordinary and hadn't planned to hold an engagement party, intending to go straight to the wedding, but Sophia's parents insisted on one, and in the end the Taylors paid for half of it. To make a showing, Liam's parents invited many relatives from the countryside. If they had been mostly young people, it would have been fine, but most of those who came were 60 or 70-year-old villagers, and they even brought children, so the whole engagement party was a chaotic mess. Especially at mealtime, many dishes were taken away in take-out containers before they were even set on the table. Sophia's father had been a businessman before. Although he had failed, quite a few old associates came to show face at the engagement party. As a result, the engagement party turned into a farce, and the Taylors lost face. Because of this, Sophia and Liam had a huge fight, and everyone was left very unhappy. Later, Liam took the initiative to admit he was wrong, and only then did their relationship ease. After that, the two began discussing marriage, and before the wedding bought a second-hand apartment. Liam's parents took out all their savings and even sold the family home to scrape together the down payment. Liam was fairly filial. After buying the place, he brought his parents to live with them in Chicago. This made Sophia extremely reluctant, especially because Liam's parents held old-fashioned views and were not only strict with Liam, but also very controlling toward her. Liam now worked at Davis Design Studio and earned $8,000 a month, but by the end of the month he had to hand his salary over to his mother on time. Sophia was indifferent to money. In her mind, love was more important than anything. Having chosen Liam, she intended to accept all his flaws. But when all the household expenses rested on her alone, and she was short every month, Sophia gradually began to break down. She had Liam set aside part of his monthly salary for household expenses, but when Liam's parents found out, tensions between the two sides exploded, and that was only the beginning. The real trigger was that one of Liam's paternal cousins came to Chicago to work, and because he had nowhere to stay for the time being, Liam's parents took it upon themselves to put him up in their home. With Liam's sister there as well, 6 people crammed into an 80-square-meter house, which Sophia simply could not accept. In a huff, she moved back to her parents' home. Sophia's parents could only sigh at the outcome. The Sophia of old had been like a white swan among the crowd, every move attracting attention, but now the little edges of her personality had been worn down by life's trivialities. Life seemed to be moving in a direction beyond her control. But the path was the one she had chosen, and no matter how hard it got, she could only grit her teeth and keep going. What's done is done. Sophia Taylor's parents couldn't bear to see their daughter suffer with Liam Davis, so they decided to help Liam start business. The next time I saw Sophia was 2 years later. We agreed to meet at a dessert shop. She was wearing a gray and white Armani gown. If I remember correctly, My mother bought that dress before Sophia and I got engaged, and I once told her it looked great on her. I never expected she still had it, and that she would specially wear it today. I felt Sophia was different from before. She wore makeup today, which made her somewhat unfamiliar to me. In my impression, Sophia rarely wore makeup, but now her face was layered with thick foundation. Besides that, there was a deep tiredness in her eyes. I rarely inquired about Sophia, so I didn't know what had happened to her over the past year. The reason she sought me out was to ask if I could help Liam and Johnson Group facilitate some business cooperation. The company Liam founded is Davis Earthworks, and this industry is fiercely competitive and very reliant on connections. Sophia's father used to work in this field, but unfortunately he eventually went bankrupt. The Taylor family still has some contacts in earthmoving, so restarting the business now gives her a certain foundation. Johnson Group does have some earth-moving operations, but Liam's company is far too small to meet their partnership requirements. Although Sophia and I have broken up, since she came to me, I wanted to allow both sides some dignity. Besides, Olivia and Sophia used to be close friends, so in the end I introduced a few partners to Sophia. It's almost the only help I can offer her now. Sophia was very grateful. Holding her milk tea, she studied me intently, her eyes carrying an unreadable emotion. Have you been doing okay lately? After a moment, Sophia asked softly. I was a little surprised, unsure whether her words came from concern. At least the Sophia from before would never have asked such a question. Ethan, actually I am a little regretful. She was halfway through speaking when the dessert shop's door was suddenly pushed open and a stunning figure walked in. The newcomer wore a white long dress with a pale yellow shawl over her shoulders, no expensive jewelry on her body, yet she exuded an air of nobility. Many people looked toward the door. She had an oval face and willow leaf brows, wore no makeup, yet made it impossible for anyone to look away. This person was Olivia Wilson. A person's temperament can be cultivated slowly. At least now, wherever Olivia goes, she becomes the absolute center of attention. Husband, Sophia. Olivia hurried over, looking very happy, not the least bit displeased that Sophia and I had met privately. After all, I was the one who sent her the meeting location. Olivia came up, hooked her arm through mine, and nuzzled her head affectionately against my chest. I knew she wasn't trying to deliberately assert her claim in front of Sophia. Ever since we married, Olivia has liked to cling to me. This is the natural expression of truly loving someone. I patted her head and asked, "How did the hospital checkup go today?" Olivia deliberately put on a disappointed look, then took a test result out of her bag. When I saw what was on the sheet, I was instantly overjoyed. It was a pregnancy test. Olivia was pregnant. I immediately pulled Olivia into my arms, cradling her gently. Olivia rolled her eyes and smiled, saying, "It's only 3 months, not that delicate." I didn't notice Sophia's expression, but her eyes were already red. Looking at the happy scene before her, she probably understood in her heart that this happiness should have been hers. Unfortunately, she had missed her chance. Later I heard that Sophia had changed her chat app status to, "There was once a sincere love standing in front of me." Sadly, I did not cherish it. After taking over Johnson Group, the company gradually became a leading enterprise in Chicago, and my career flourished. Olivia managed the household and later gave birth to a son and a daughter. I still insisted on coming home every night at 8, and Olivia would always have a hot meal ready for me. Olivia wanted my parents to move in with us so we could take care of them more easily, but my parents said they wanted to leave some space for us young people and mentioned that the U.S. has relaxed its birth policy. If we were able, we could have another child. That remark made Olivia blush all over. The next time I heard the name Sophia Taylor, it was about her death. Yes, Sophia was dead. It was the 6th year after that meeting at the dessert shop. Olivia and I went to a funeral home in Chicago to see her off, and only from friends did I learn about Sophia's experiences in the intervening years. Liam Davis's Davis Earthworks did indeed start out very successful and made a lot of money, which gradually inflated Liam. At first, Liam still listened to Sophia's parents. After all, his success owed much to his father-in-law's help. But once he had money, he completely let himself go, spending like water and keeping another woman on the side. Sophia had once been pregnant, but after Liam began making money, his parents looked down on Sophia more and more. In the end, during an argument, Sophia suffered a threatened miscarriage and lost the child. From then on, Liam and his parents looked down on Sophia even more. Sophia's parents knew Liam was ungrateful, but they were helpless and could only worry day after day. They originally planned to travel to clear their minds, but unfortunately were in a car accident. Sophia lost her last support in her parents. After losing them, she sank into gloom and eventually developed depression. Later, Sophia learned that the woman Liam had been seeing had given him a son, and Liam's parents were overjoyed. This became the last straw that broke Sophia. She reported Liam's company to the authorities, exposing their suspected shady dealings and tax evasion. Just 1 month later, Liam's company was declared bankrupt. At that time, many creditors came knocking, and everyone learned that Liam not only owed money to the bank, but also a huge gambling debt. Knowing things were bad, Liam left the country a week early with the other woman and their son, leaving Sophia to face it all alone. In despair, Sophia lay in her own bathroom and slit her wrists. This is what Sophia wrote before she died. She said to give it to you. Sophia's friend handed me a sheet of paper containing what Sophia wanted to say before she killed herself. Only a few sparse lines. At midnight, in my dreams, I have often imagined that I ultimately married you. Perhaps, if I had chosen you back then, my ending would have been different. I looked at that line and fell into a long silence. Death is the ultimate, yet I still wanted to tell Sophia that she was wrong. Her ending would not have been any different, and perhaps that was the saddest part. Same time, same place, still the 8th year after marriage. Even if she had married me back then, she would still have ended up committing suicide. I don't know where the problem really lay, why different choices would lead to such similar outcomes. After thinking for a long time, I decided not to dwell on it. At least in this life, I have both a son and a daughter, a beautiful wife by my side. I have broken free from the bonds of fate, and the ending is fairly complete. I just hope that in the next life, Sophia can have a third option.